Some phone calls are meant to save lives, but some calls reveal something far worse. 911 operators hear screams, panic, and fear every single day. Yet every once in a while, a call comes through that doesn't sound human, that doesn't feel real. These are the calls that stay in their minds forever. The voices, the silence, the things said in the background. Tonight, you'll hear 3 disturbing 911 calls that were never supposed to happen. Story 1, the whispering caller. The call came in at exactly 2:13 a.m. The 911 center was quiet that night. Most of the operators were half expecting the usual drunk drivers, domestic arguments, or minor accidents. Nothing out of the ordinary. When the line connected, the operator greeted the caller with the standard emergency response. But instead of panic or shouting, there was silence. Just a faint, static hum. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then a voice whispered so softly, it was almost hard to hear. "He's in the house." The operator asked for the caller's location. No answer. The whisper came again, slower this time. "He's standing outside my door." The operator tried to calm the caller and asked who he was, but the voice didn't respond. Instead, the operator heard something else through the phone. Slow, careful footsteps. Metallic creaking. The sound of a floorboard bending under weight. The whisper returned. "He doesn't like noise." The operator asked if the caller was hiding. The whisper said, "I'm in my room. The door is locked." The operator asked if the caller could see the intruder. The whisper hesitated. "I can see his shadow." The operator heard breathing now. Heavy, uneven breathing that didn't sound like it was coming from the caller. It sounded closer to the phone. The operator urged the caller to stay quiet and remain hidden. But then the whisper changed. It became shaky. "He's touching the door." A faint scratching sound came through the line, like fingernails dragging across wood. The operator told the caller to stay calm and stay silent. Then the whisper said something that made the operator freeze. "He doesn't have a face." The scratching grew louder. The door creaked. The operator raised her voice, trying to get the address. But the whisper cut her off. "He can hear you." The breathing grew deeper. The footsteps stopped. Then a new voice came through the line, not whispering. This voice was calm, low, and almost amused. "She can't talk right now." The operator demanded to speak to the caller. But the voice laughed softly. Then the line went dead. Police traced the call to a residential neighborhood. They arrived within minutes. The house was dark. The front door was unlocked, but there were no signs of forced entry. No broken windows, no struggle. In the upstairs bedroom, officers found a phone lying on the floor. The screen was cracked. The room was empty. No blood, no disturbance. The closet door was slightly open. Inside, there was nothing. But the walls were scratched deep, as if someone had clawed at them. The call log on the phone showed only one outgoing call to 911. The call lasted exactly 2 minutes. No one ever reported a missing person from that house. And the address was later found to be registered to someone who had died years earlier. The operator who took the call quit her job 3 days later. She said the breathing still followed her into her dreams. Story 2. The call from the basement. The call came in at 4:46 a.m. The night shift at the 911 center was almost over. Most operators were exhausted, just counting the minutes until sunrise. When the line connected, a child's voice came through the speaker. It was shaking, quiet, and filled with fear. The boy sounded young, maybe 8 or 9 years old. He was crying so softly, it was hard to hear him over the static. "Please," he whispered, "I'm in the basement." The operator immediately asked for his address. The boy paused for a long moment, then said, "I don't know. It's dark down here." The operator asked where his parents were. The boy's breathing became faster. "They're upstairs," he said, "but they're not my parents anymore." The operator tried to calm him down, asking what he meant, but the boy only whispered, "They don't sound right." Through the phone, the operator heard a strange noise, slow scratching, like fingernails dragging across wood. The boy flinched. "They're walking around," he whispered. "Their steps are too heavy." The operator told him to stay hidden and stay quiet. The boy said he was behind some boxes in the basement. He said there was only one small light bulb, and it kept flickering. The operator asked if he could see anything else. The boy hesitated. "I can see their shadows," he said. "They're too tall." The scratching noise grew louder. Then the operator heard something else, a slow thumping sound, like someone walking downstairs. The boy started crying harder. "They're coming down," he whispered. "They know I called." The operator begged him to stay calm and keep the phone close. The boy suddenly screamed. The phone fell to the floor. The line stayed open. The operator could hear heavy footsteps moving across the basement floor. Then a voice spoke through the phone. It wasn't the boy's voice. This voice was deep, low, and unnatural. "He shouldn't have called." The operator froze. The voice continued. "Children don't belong down there." The call ended. Police traced the signal to a quiet suburban house. When officers arrived, the lights were on. The front door was locked. Nothing looked wrong. The parents answered the door, confused and calm. They said their son was asleep upstairs. Police checked the house. The boy was in his bed, fast asleep. No signs of fear. No injuries. When officers asked about the basement, the parents said their house didn't have one. But behind the house, in the overgrown backyard, officers found something strange. A sealed cellar door buried under dirt and leaves. There were fresh scratch marks on the wood, leading inward. No one could explain how the call was made from a basement that didn't exist. The 911 operator later reported hearing scratching sounds in her headset, long after the call ended. Story 3. The call that wasn't human. This call lasted longer than any other. It came in just after midnight. The caller didn't speak at first. There was only heavy breathing and a strange clicking sound. The operator asked multiple times if anyone was there. Finally, the caller spoke, but the voice was distorted. It sounded like it was struggling to form words. "They are watching." The operator asked who was watching. There was silence. Then whispering voices layered together. The operator could hear multiple people speaking at once, but none of the words made sense. Suddenly, the caller screamed. The scream didn't sound human. It sounded stretched, warped, almost mechanical. The line stayed open for over 5 minutes. The operator listened to screaming, whispers, and something dragging across the floor. Then the call cut off. When authorities traced the call location, it led to an abandoned warehouse. No signs of people, no signs of entry. But inside the building, they found dozens of phones scattered across the floor, all with cracked screens, all with 911 dialed. Some calls never get answers. Some voices never get saved. And some recordings should never exist. If these stories made your skin crawl, good. Welcome to Dreadora, where fear feels real. Like, subscribe, and stay in the shadows.